Hello and happy September 1st. Do you remember? Oh yeah! Do. No copyright strike in September. Okay. It's Reverend Sully, Eric O'Sullivan, ordained on the internet. Hey, the caveat as always, please do not burn your hands holding on to my hot takes. If you do burn your fingers, that's on you. This one's pretty quick. It's older news too, but it affects me as a big comic books fan. And, I'm going to have trouble buying comics from Image Comics now. Why? Because of the Warren Ellis hubbub. What happened? Warren Ellis was a very naughty boy. He was what we used to call a ladies' man. And he might have used his, what we today refer as platform to give favors to women in exchange for sex. And they were consensual relationships, and yet was like his thing. He was like a truck driver. I hate to sound crass, but it's like he had a girl in every city, and that's how he played it. He did a lot of conventions. He actually had a lot of interesting people he promoted, or we call today amplify and boost, on Twitter about 10 years ago. I followed him a decade ago on Twitter. I've been reading him since I got back into comic books in 2001. And here's just a couple of the comic books that he's blessed me with over the years. This is Black Summer. Of a superhero went in and took care of business with a corrupt White House. This is Super God. It's what if the arms race was about superheroes and each nation had their own superhero. Transmetropolitan, it needs to be read every 4 years in every presidential campaign, and it's about a Hunter S. Thompson pastiche of the future, also based upon himself. There's no hero. It's about the 1960s and 70s, and what if the superheroes were a government-sanctioned thing, and what if the wrong person got in? A complete psychopath is given the formula to be a superhero. It's quite, deep and real deconstruction superhero stories. Warren Ellis was a futurist. He made amazing sci-fi, and he was also a bit of a Lothario. Love him and leave him, and he ghosted a bunch of ladies. But here's the rub. In this past few months, he's tried to make a comeback. He was canceled last year for this, and then earlier this year tried to, make a comeback after about, a year's dormancy, and then the band of his jilted lovers got together and leveraged his publisher to not publish his book until Warren has made amends to the satisfaction of all involved. And I just wow, these were consensual relationships. And here's my rub, though. I followed these people. I followed Warren. I saw some, I'm not saying, it wasn't harmful, or being ghosted and dumped always stinks. I mean, it's happened to me like all the time. I'm batting 1,000, being single, right? But here's the rub. Back home in merry old England, he's got a common law wife and a teenage child he was raising at that time. And everyone knew about that he had a home life. So anyone with the expectation of a relationship with Warren Ellis had to have known they were the other woman from his home life. And then to be unceremoniously ghosted or dumped and not have their signal boosted anymore. And this was the leverage that was put on him. And so Warren Ellis can't make new comic books. You're not going to see Warren Ellis for a while unless Warren, you listening? Go to Indiegogo. Do it yourself. I'll buy your comic books. I always have, and I always will. And this kind of bad news doesn't scare me off. I mean, he was a rock star, a comic book rock star. Was it right? Was it moral? No, not really. But, that's what happened. There was a lot of sexy things going around in that culture. I mean, I observed it. There were porn stars. There were, racy photographs, and it was all just like, it was all well and good. But now 10 years after the fact, 15 years after the fact, now this leveraging, Cui Bono, who profits? That's all I got for today. Thank you so much. Leave a thumbs up if you like this content. Leave a thumbs down if you didn't like this. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. Leave a comment in the comment section if you do. And give me a subscribe if you like this content. Another hot takes. I'll also have cooking videos, and I go into spirituality and theology. And that's about it for Warren Ellis. And I think that's about it for Warren Ellis, too. I mean, yeah. What about Mick Jagger? Mick Jagger, you're next. I'm sorry. I mean, you got it coming. Well, that's all I got for today. Thank you so much. God bless, and cheers, and happy September.